Yeah, we've had some good news on Fabio. Fabio's injury is not as bad as we first thought, so we'll have a look at him in the morning to see whether he'll make the weekend. Grant's hamstrings sore, so he'll miss the weekend's game, and Victor Valdez's ribs are really sore, so again he'll miss the weekend.
Rudy just said, is he okay?
He's fine, yeah. Rudy got the kick to his heel or his instep, but he trained well this morning.
You played well the other night. There's a lot of positives in that. Is there enough there to allow you to still believe you can get out of this?
Of course it is, yeah. I was really, really pleased. The players were disappointed they lost the game, as we all were, but pleased with the effort, the intensity that they played at, and we remain confident preparing for the game against Bournemouth.
Would you concede that you need positive results, certainly in the next two, to have any chance, given how difficult the fixtures are after that?
Of course, yeah, and I don't think it's looking beyond or looking at the difficult fixtures. I think it's just we have to go to Bournemouth and win the game, and that's what we'll be setting up to do.
Do you feel since you've come in that the players have picked up since you've managed to get your message across?
I think what I have seen is when we've watched the games back and then when we've had meetings with the players, there's lots of positivity in the forward play, and the chances of being created not quite being taken, but that's not for the want of trying. I think the combination of long passes, the combination of short passes to create opportunities, the combination of set plays are coming into our featuring very much in our analysis. And as you've all been at the games, it's always been either cleared off the line, dropped in the 6-yard box, made a good save, and we just need that all to come together on Saturday.
I think you said after the game the other night that at half-time you decided to go a little bit more direct, mix it up a little bit. Is that something you're probably going to have to do between now and the end of the season to hope that you get that break of the ball in the ball?
Well, we've got a combination of many different attackers, and we have dribblers and technical players, but then we've got Alvaro, Christian Stuani, Rudy Gusted, Patrick Bamford, that can all play on the last man, and we have to bring them into play. So that point of attack can bring goals from in a different way.
You've obviously been here for the whole season. Just thinking back a few months, things were looking fairly rosy before Christmas. What do you think is the main reason why things have unravelled in the way they have it in 2017?
Well, I think confidence is one thing. Confidence and belief comes through winning games, and obviously we've not won a game in 2017.
And in terms of yourself, I know we've asked you a number of times, where you see yourself next season, whatever the plan is. Are you already making plans for the club moving forward, whether it be in this division or the Championship?
No, I just think, I've said in many press conferences, it'll not change. There is so much work going on behind the scenes with all the staff, all the players, and everybody connected with the club is just focusing on the next game, and that's where we're at, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Steve, is that the most sensible thing to do you think, just to concentrate game by game at the moment? In the sense that I only ask that because obviously so much could change in this.
I think it's a really, really sensible thing to do.
In terms of Bournemouth this weekend, then, how do you assess their sort of strengths and weaknesses?
Good team, yeah, very good team. I mean, Eddie's done fantastic. He's brought the club from the lower divisions. They've established themselves in the Premier League, which we all know is very, very difficult, as we're finding out with our first season back in. And they have good players. They play an attacking style of football. They work hard, and obviously through coming through the divisions, they have continuity at the club.
One of the better performances this season as well, when you beat them at home?
Yeah, it was, because when you win a game, obviously the performance usually reflects the result, and it was, yeah. So, but it's looking ahead and looking to Saturday, and it's going to be a really, really difficult game.
Can he? Are you seeing signs that he's capable of returning to that sort of form? Because he had a quiet spell mid-season.
That's right, yeah. Gaston's been really good, really sharp in training, so yeah, that's very, very evident with Gaston at the moment.
In terms of Bournemouth as well, Jack Wilshere ruled out for the rest of the season. Does that help you in any way, or do you just sort of, does that immaterial to you?
Well, obviously they'll have a replacement that will be a very, very good player, but Jack Wilshere is, in my opinion, a top-class midfield player, and you know, I'm sure that Bournemouth will miss him, but they'll have, as I said, very, very good replacements.
In terms of injuries, you said about Victor Valdez with his rib injury. How did that happen?
He hurt it against Burnley last week, and he carried on, and he trained the majority of last week and through pain, really, in hoping that he would be available for the Arsenal game, but he couldn't, and he was too sore. So it's difficult with ribs because I've had one in years and years ago, and they are very, very sore and uncomfortable.
You mentioned Rudy just said earlier. The last time he won a Premier League game was at Bournemouth at the start of last season. I don't know if it's playing on his mind. I don't know if he's aware of the record. Is it something that you can kind of try and help him with? Yeah,
I think so. But Rudy's been really, really good from day one. He's a top professional. Works ever so hard every day. He's always asking for extra work on whatever part of his game he needs to improve on, and yeah, so Rudy's fully focused like the rest of the players.
He scored the winner that day. It'd be nice for him to score the winner of the weekend, wouldn't it? Just to kind of get that monkey off his back.
Yeah, of course it would. We'd love Rudy to score. We'd love any one of the players to score the winning goal for us on Saturday.
Thank you.
Steve, you've been getting yourself into some promising situations, just not quite sort of converting the chances as you would like. Is that just one of those things that if one or two go in, a lot more go in, or can you put your finger on why you're not quite converting?
Yeah, well, it's difficult to actually put your finger on why it's not gone in. I think what we can do is continue to put the ball into dangerous areas and work on numbers into the box, work on various different ways of scoring a goal. That final touch is something that we'd like to see more frequent.
Bournemouth are sort of nearly safe but not quite. Can you exploit any sort of remaining anxiety they might have just to want to get over the line?
Yeah, I think, as I said, they've done terrific, Bournemouth, but they will see this as their home advantage to give them that extra 3 points that will give them a little bit more security. You know, I have no doubt that this is going to be a really, really tough match, but equally we're determined to come away with what we all need.
Season or two back, Boro and Bournemouth are big sort of promotion rivals. Is it mostly down to Eddie Howe and the choice of players that they've sort of established themselves so well?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. They have to have all the credit, and Eddie and his staff and the players done terrific.
Steve, how much of a miss will Grant be? He's a real driving force.
He is. He's a captain and leader of the team, and what Grant gives us is that leadership and the communication and the organisation. So yeah, of course, Grant's a miss, and I thought he was terrific the other night. But when a player's injured, then that gives an opportunity for another member of the squad.
Victor as well has had a major impact in recent weeks and months, but presumably have no qualms about throwing Brad in there.
No, Brad's done great this season. He was in earlier on in the season, performed very, very well. And again, I thought he was very, very competent the other night. He's an experienced goalkeeper. We have to remember he's played in, I don't know, 7, 8 years in the Premier League with Aston Villa. So, experienced goalkeeper.
I mean, it's more difficult for a keeper, isn't it? Because there's only the chances are fewer than for outfield players. How do you keep them at their peak and ready to come in?
Well, that's more down to Leo, the goalkeeping coach, who works very, very hard with them throughout the week, and they sit and watch videos of the opposition, and they know exactly the strengths and weaknesses of Bournemouth in an attacking sense. And as I said earlier, it's the experience that Brad brings, and Dimmy obviously, that gives you confidence.
It is a big week. As big a week as you've had in your career?
I think they've all been big weeks in over this period. So of course it's a big week, and of course it's a massive game. But I think you have to enjoy it, and that's the only way I know, and that's the only way I think the players and staff know. They're all relishing the game on Saturday.
I think perhaps one of the things you've learned as a club this season is that being difficult to beat isn't quite enough in the Premier League. You need that a little bit more to rack up the points.
Well, you do need wins, and that's what we've missed. But and that's what we need from now on in. So yeah, hard to beat and continue to be difficult to beat, but equally needing the goal to take the 3 points that we need.
And I suppose when you look at a team like Bournemouth have had a few heavy defeats, but they can bounce back and win again. That's key in this division.
Of course, the Bournemouth they've got lots of attacking players and they play very much on the front foot. So we'll have to be very well organised against a team like Bournemouth.
And just finally, you talk about getting the ball into the right place in the box. If you do that, Alvaro showed the other night that he can get on the end of them, and that was a great finish the other night, wasn't it?
Yeah, he does. He showed that, when he scored at Hull. I mean, in terms of assists, he created the chance for Rudy at Swansea. He scored obviously the other night. He had a terrific scissor kick from a downing cross against Burnley. So he's always in and around the area, and we have to provide service for the strikers.